Kickstarters, Heron Dance readers, friends. Um, Wanted to offer a few words about why I've published this new book, Meditations on Gratitude, Beauty and Mystery, an Art Journal. The origins of the book go back 30 years. I interviewed an individual who started a nonprofit to plant fruit trees in remote villages in India to give villagers a source of income that they could use to fund schools and perhaps even clinics. And the program was very successful over the following decades, planting many, many tens of millions of trees. And I interviewed Balbir Mathur, the co-founder, with his wife Triva, of this nonprofit 30 years ago when I was first starting Heron Dance. He was one of the first interviews. And it was one of those interviews that over a period of time, the wisdom and the significance and the importance of his message increased. It became and played an increasing role in my life. And I guess part of the power comes from a desire for it to play an even more significant role. In other words, it's aspirational to some extent to live with gratitude. That's what he talked about, the spiritual practice of living with gratitude. And the key excerpts from that interview are in this new book. But, 10 years later, I published a book called The Heron Dance Book of Love and Gratitude, largely inspired by that interview. And it became, we published about 20 books over the years of Heron Dance. 12 of them were my books, books that I either wrote alone or with my then partner, Annie O'Shaughnessy. And this book was by far the bestseller. It sold over several editions, kept selling out, kept reprinting it. Maybe 20,000 copies or something like that. We had both a hardcover and a softcover version. And then a company that is affiliated with Random House took it over, North Atlantic Books, and they did several printings of it. And ultimately, as they sold down recently, earlier this year, the final copy, I didn't let them reprint it. I wanted to do a more complete exploration of the subject, and I created this new book that is the subject of this Kickstarter, which, by the way, I've sold enough copies to Heron Dance readers already that I'm going to print it regardless. So the Kickstarter is not needed to fund this book. But the book is here. We'll do a quick. I just want to show you something on my website here. So this is the page on my website. Art journals, the first one, Meditations on Gratitude, Beauty, and Mystery, an art journal. And it has the front cover, and it has the introduction in which I talk about the philosophy and spiritual practice of gratitude, and Balbir Mathur, my interview of him, and what it meant to me, and then down below a woman whose life seemed to me to personify gratitude. But then underneath that, there are several example 2-page spreads just to give you an idea of what the inside of the book looks like. And I wanted to show you that in case you want to take a closer look. And then in the actual Kickstarter campaign that will launch tomorrow, there's the covers, of course. This is the latest book. This is the last one that I published, Nurturing the Song Within, which is also part of this Kickstarter. I don't have that many copies left. I think about 100 are still available. I'll offer them here, signed and numbered. And then there's 2 more books, the Diary Planner and the book on the tools and techniques of art journaling, entitled Using an Art Journal to Probe Deep. And then in the Kickstarter, the 10 limited edition signed prints that are offered. The Dragonfly of Happiness, Great Egret Blue. These are all paintings that I've done in preceding years. The Heron Communion, etc. I won't name them all, but they're all here and indicated in the Kickstarter. And then finally, I'm offering one original painting, watercolor, Osprey Landing, 16 by 20 inches, as part of the Kickstarter. So from that, I'll just flip through the last book that I did. This new book is very similar in terms of trim size and binding and print quality. The paper is identical. And, both were printed by the same high-end art book printer.
So this is the last book we published, and this new book is same trim size, same binding, Smyth's Own. If you know about book publishing, you'll know that that is the highest quality commercial book publishing or art book publishing binding that is offered or that you can get. And the paper on the inside, very beautiful, high quality art paper. The books are printed by a premium art book printer. And the setup of this new book, Meditations on Gratitude, Beauty, and Mystery, is similar to this kind of spread. Every two-page spread has a painting on one side and words, etc., on the other. And some pages, very few words, and some a substantial number of words. So the new book will be very similar to this one. This book is actually part of the Kickstarter as well. There's a little over 100 copies still left of it, and I'm including them in the Kickstarter. Each one will be numbered and signed, and as will the new book. The other two books are wire roll bound books, so like this one. This was the diary planner. This particular book is dated, not any particular year, but dated for the second quarter of the year, and there's room for appointments and priorities, and also for journal notes. And the new book will be have content similar to this, the other wire roll bound book, which is about using journaling to probe deep and explore the trends and characteristics of one's life that may not be immediately apparent on the surface, and access deeper levels of wisdom. It is that book will be double wire roll bound like this one, but it will have no room for journal notes, but will have a layout similar to this. That is an image on one side and words on the other. Okay, thank you. That was the summary, the quick summary that I wanted to show you.